Hello and welcome to Reema's Garden. I am Reema Gopal and this is part 4 in our series What's in Your Pot, and today we are going to talk about peat moss. So just a quick advice, if you think peat moss is coco peat, it isn't. If you want to know more about coco peat, click on the link here or in the description below. Okay, so today we are going to talk about peat moss or sphagnum. So let's look at it. What is peat moss?
What is peat moss? Sphagnum is a genus of approximately 380 accepted species of mosses commonly known as peat moss, though they are different as peat moss. Peat moss can be distinguished from other moss species by its unique branch clusters. The plant and stem color, the shape of the branch and stem leaves, and the shape of green cells are all characteristics used to identify peat moss to species. Decayed, dried sphagnum moss has the name of peat or peat moss. This is used as a soil conditioner, which increases the soil's capacity to hold water and nutrients by increasing capillary forces and cation exchange capacity. Uses that are particularly useful in gardening.
Now let's quickly look at the benefits of peat moss.
The first advantage of peat moss is its water retention. It also improves aeration, improves the nutritive value of soil, and acidic pH.
Here's some of the disadvantages of peat moss.
Peat moss is dead fibrous material that forms when mosses and other living material decompose in peat bogs. The difference between peat moss and the compost gardeners make in their backyard is that peat moss is composed mostly of moss, and the decomposition happens without the presence of air, slowing the rate of decomposition. It takes several millennia for the peat moss to form, and peat bogs contain less than a millimeter in depth every year. Since the process is so slow, peat moss isn't considered a renewable resource.
Is it worth the time, money and the effort that you have spent in procuring the peat moss? How good is it? Let's do a quick cost benefit analysis.
Definitely worth the time, money, and energy spent on procuring it. Highly recommended because it's organic, high in nutrition, and perfect for water retention and acidic soil loving plants. However, as mentioned earlier, though natural, it is not considered renewable, hence should be used with caution and only when required at most.